There are secrets to a calmer, more successful life. And it starts with what you don't share. Here are 10 things to keep to yourself. Number 1, the negative thoughts. Psychologist Daniel Gilbert explains that negative thoughts are more memorable because they increase our brain's arousal. It is estimated that the human brain generates around 60,000 thoughts per day, and some of them are probably not so good. However, the psychologist emphasizes that despite being more likely to stick in our heads, these thoughts do not necessarily reflect reality. You might think, why do I need to keep my negative thoughts to myself? Why can't I just tell someone about it? Well, if you tell others your negative thoughts, you will infect them with your negativity, which will make them feel bad. And people who are exposed to negativity tend to believe it even when it's not true. This is known as the negativity bias. We are more influenced by negative information than positive information. In fact, researchers have found that it takes 4 positive experiences to make up for 1 negative experience. So, if you don't want to drag others down with you, it's best to keep your negative thoughts to yourself. Sample, you just got fired from your job. Your first thought could be, what am I going to do now? But if you tell someone that thought, they'll probably say, oh, it's fine. It wasn't the right place anyway. Or even worse, they may start telling you horror stories about their own jobs. The point is that you don't want to spread negativity. Number 2, complaints. It has been proven that complaining activates regions in our brain related to reward and addiction. When we complain, we release dopamine, the same chemical released when we use drugs or consume junk food. But over time, we build a tolerance to the dopamine from our complaints, meaning we need to complain more and more to get the same high. So what can you do instead of complaining? According to experts, the opposite of complaining is aggrandizement, which is expressing gratitude. If you want to feel better, then express gratitude for the things you have rather than complain about the things you don't have. Sample, instead of saying, I hate my life, I wish I had a new car. Say, I'm grateful for the car I have. It may not be a new car, but it's reliable and gets me from A to B. Number 3, excessive personal details. It is not necessary to share every little thing about yourself with others. Think about the people you know who talk excessively about themselves. Do you really enjoy listening to them? Probably not. And there's a reason for that. Psychologists say that hearing someone talk too much about themselves is called self-centered speech. And it makes us feel uncomfortable because it shows a lack of empathy. On top of that, psychologists at the University of Stirling and the University of Wolverhampton found that those who talk excessively about themselves tend to have low levels of empathy. The study states that self-centered speech is linked to low levels of trait empathy. Therefore, if you don't want to come across as self-centered, it's best to avoid sharing too many personal details. But if you are curious to know how much of your personal life you should share, here's a simple rule of thumb. If you wouldn't want your mother to know about it, then don't tell your friends about it either. Number 4, your weight. Research has found that discussing one's weight can lead to increased body consciousness and disordered eating behaviors in others. For example, in a study published in the journal Eating Behaviors, researchers found that after participants read a passage describing a character who was overweight and judged negatively by society, they were more likely to restrict their food intake. So, if you are trying to lose weight, it is best to keep it to yourself. Not only will it prevent you from developing unhealthy eating habits, but it will also protect your friends from doing the same. Instead, focus on taking care of your health rather than your weight. Of course, if you've recently lost or gained a significant amount of weight, you may want to share it with your friends. Just make sure to focus on how you feel rather than on numbers on the scale. For example, you could say, I feel healthier since I started working out. By sharing how you feel, you can inspire others to take care of their own health without making them feel self-conscious. Number 5, your salary. Even though we work hard to earn money, talking about salaries can easily lead to envy. And that's why you should keep your salary to yourself. First of all, envy is a destructive emotion that can cause us to compare ourselves to others and feel resentment. This is because envy is associated with the belief that someone else has something that we want. In this case, the other person may have a higher salary than us. This can lead to feelings of inferiority and dissatisfaction with our own situation. Envy can also cause us to take unnecessary risks in order to try and obtain what we desire. For example, someone who envies their friend's high salary may be tempted to invest in risky financial products in an attempt to quickly increase their own income. However, this can often backfire and lead to financial loss. To avoid these negative consequences, it's best to keep your salary to yourself. Number 6, your relationship status. Your relationship status is your business and no one else's. While it's natural to want to share happy moments with others, it's also important to respect the privacy and boundaries of those who may be single. Single people are not obligated to share their relationship status and certainly don't want to be pitied or pressured to find a partner. According to psychologist Dr. Karen Anderson, constantly asking single people when they're going to settle down can make them feel like a second-class citizen. Additionally, constantly hearing about your happily coupled friends can make singles feel left out and lonely, which can impact their mental health. Therefore, it is considerate to avoid pressuring or judging single people, and instead be supportive and understanding of their choices. Remember that everyone's journey is different, and respect their decisions regarding their personal relationships. Number 7, your plans for the future. If you share your plans with others, you open yourself up to criticism and negative comments that can demotivate you from pursuing them. People may try to convince you that your goals are unrealistic or simply discourage you from pursuing them. For example, imagine you decide to quit your job and become a full-time content creator. Some people may respond by saying, "Oh, that's not a real job," or "YouTube is oversaturated." Don't bother. While it's important to seek support and advice from others, it's crucial to do so at the right time and from the right people. If you're not ready to share your plans yet, it's perfectly fine to tell others, "I'm still in the planning stages," or "I'm not sure what I want to do yet." Once you're ready to seek feedback, you can ask trusted friends or mentors for their opinions. Remember, your plans are your own, and you do not owe anyone an explanation or justification for what you choose to do with your life. Number 8, your mistakes. We have all made mistakes in our lives, but dwelling on them can weigh us down and prevent us from moving forward. By keeping your mistakes to yourself, you avoid the potential embarrassment or shame that others may cause you to feel. And while it's important to acknowledge and learn from our mistakes, it's not necessary to broadcast them to the entire world. Instead, you can keep a private journal where you write down your mistakes and the lessons you've learned from them. This way you can reflect on your mistakes without having to share them with others. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, and it's how we handle them that truly matters. So keep your mistakes to yourself and focus on moving forward with your head held high. Number 9, your childhood. Our childhood is a significant part of our lives, but it's not something that we need to share with everyone. Revealing too much about your childhood can make you vulnerable to criticism or judgment from others. Additionally, some childhood memories may be painful or traumatic, and sharing them could cause emotional distress. It's essential to respect your own boundaries and protect your privacy by keeping certain aspects of your childhood to yourself. Instead, you can share age-appropriate and comfortable anecdotes when appropriate and with trusted individuals. Remember, your childhood is a personal and valuable part of who you are, and it deserves to be treated with respect and care. And finally, number 10, how you spend your free time. You don't need to justify how you spend your free time to anyone. Just because you enjoy playing video games or reading fantasy novels does not mean you're lazy or have a boring life. In fact, both activities can be quite engaging and enjoyable, so don't let anyone make you feel guilty about the way you spend your leisure time. If you want to share how you spend your free time, go ahead, but don't do it to seek validation or approval from others. It's your time to relax and do whatever you want. After all, it's your life, and you don't owe anyone an explanation for how you choose to live it. So these are 10 things that you should keep to yourself. If you agree with the points I made in this video, let me know in the comments. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.